I'd like to ask some broad questions and then perhaps going into some detail. Why is a visionary project like the updated Bradfield Scheme, which supplies water, power and irrigation, not on the infrastructure list?
Thank you, Senator. The infrastructure priority list is actually a consensus list, which means that it's derived from both bottom-up submissions from either jurisdictions or actually from private citizens or from private organisations, as well as top-down work analysis done by Infrastructure Australia. If Infrastructure Australia see that there are also gaps, then we may also call out some of those nationally significant opportunities and problems. So in some cases, it's not on the priority list because the jurisdictions haven't actually made a submission to us in terms of the bottom up.
Okay, thank you. Same with a large dam on the upper tributaries of the Clarence River. Why? Is that the same? It
is the same in terms of what's actually coming into IA, what's presented. And that's why when we call for submissions for the priority list each year, it's a national call out. It's actually advertised on our website. It's open to all private citizens as well as all organisations and governments.
Thank you. Third question is to do with Minister Littleproud has put out data that shows average major dam storage per person will fall from 4.26 megalitres per person in 2000 to just 2.7 megalitres in 2030. What steps has Infrastructure Australia taken to provide more large water storage to prevent Australia entering permanent water restrictions?
So
our population continues to grow.
So as Ms Charles said, Senator, we rely on the jurisdictions or the public to put forward projects and proposals to be considered for the infrastructure priority list, and we have not received any to pick up that issue.
Okay, thank you. Perhaps I could go into some details. In looking into the question, and this might explain why you haven't had submissions on some of these projects, in looking into the question of who we should ask about the modified or updated Bradfield Scheme, we identified multiple layers of government agencies. These included the Regional Investment Corporation, the North Queensland Water Infrastructure Authority, the Northern Australia Infrastructure Authority, the National Water Infrastructure Development Fund, and Infrastructure Australia. Can you tell us who has the responsibility for the modified Bradfield Scheme and Hells Gate project?
Senator,
to Ms Chow, yep.
Thank you. This is not a scheme that's actually come to us in early stages in terms of early engagement. As for Infrastructure Australia's role, our role's primarily to advise. We don't actually have any planning powers in terms of actually putting together the plans for delivery or implementation.
Do you know what is the North Queensland Water Infrastructure Authority doing to progress a feasibility study of a visionary project like the modified Bradfield Scheme?
We don't.
May I refer this to the department, please, Senator?
That organisation, I believe, is due to appear on Friday here at Estimates from memory, so they would be able to answer questions directly then.
Turning to the Hells Gate Dam, on the 8th of November 2018, the federal government committed $54 million towards phase 1 of the project. Who is administering that funding, and what is the date that construction commences?
I'll just refer that to Mr Yeoman.
So, Senator, again, I believe the water functions are being handled on Friday at Estimates.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. People are asking, when are we going to go beyond headlines and start getting started on these things? Perhaps I'm not sure if it's this section here, but I'd like to just ask this question. If it's in the wrong place, let me know. Why is the current 3.11% interest rate for farm investment loans so high at a time of historically low interest rates?
So that's not in the remit of Infrastructure Australia.
Okay.
Minister? Sorry, I know you're busy.
Sorry.
Only because Ms Spence isn't there. I think it's a good question for Senator Roberts.
Why is the current 3.11% interest rate for farm investment loans so high at a time of historically low interest rates?
So where could invest?
I think that tomorrow in agriculture would probably be...
Thank you, Minister, and thank you,